The St. Louis Blues and the Boston Bruins play each other tonight. I'll tell you more about it coming up here on Locked On Blues.
Hey, this is Brayden Chen. Subscribe to Locked On Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to Locked On Blues. I am your host of Locked On Blues, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you all things about our St. Louis Blues here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today on Locked On Blues, I'm going to talk about Boston tonight and my thoughts about this matchup. Can this team turn things around? And I still see potential because, yes, I still have hope. Listen, I know I haven't been feeling good the past few weeks, but I have to tell you, if there's one thing I love talking about, one thing I need to talk about is St. Louis Blues hockey. And I just wanted to put that out there that this podcast means so much to me. So thank you for every single person that tunes in every day to listen. You can start the season off with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. The Blues take on the Bruins tonight, and I have to tell you, I'm a little bit nervous about this matchup between these two teams. One is because I don't have that much trust in the Blues. And two is because Boston is a team that has gotten younger and they still have players like Brad Marchand who definitely scare me, okay? Say what you want about him. I know he cried during that game 7. Still is a good player. So there's a lot that we have at stake tonight. The Blues had an 8-1 loss against the Capitals on Saturday night, which was kind of bad. Okay, actually very bad. However, at the end of the day, it does not set a good tone heading into this road trip, but I don't want to dwell on that loss too much. I want to maybe focus on things that are more positive, like the win against the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Lightning. I think it's easy to look at these losses and just assume that this is the Blues, but it is. You know, it's a very complex situation. But I will talk about that more later in today's episode. However, I do want to talk more about tonight's game and what we should expect to see. So, again, I am expecting tonight's game to be a little bit different than the previous game against the Washington Capitals. I expect more effort, maybe less turnovers. That's a start, right? However, of course, I could do in every single episode of Locked On Blues. This is the Blues' morning skate. So kind of who I think will be playing tonight. On that first line, it's Jake Neighbors, Bushi, Kyrou. On the second line, it is Dylan Holloway, Captain Brayden Schenn, and of course, Matthew Joseph. He is back. Tell a friend. Then on that third, it is Turpachenko, Foxa, and Walker. And on the fourth line is Saad, Sonny, and Texier. Again, remember, Texier was actually healthy scratched ahead of Saturday night's game, but they could have honestly used him. Defense-wise, we have Suter and Parayko. That's our first pair. Joseph and Folk as our second pair. And Perunovic and Kessel as our third pair. And Binner is in net. For those that don't know, our boy Perunovic did get his first ever NHL goal in the last game. So that was really exciting for Scotty P. When I spoke to Perunovic, he told me, he was like, I want to prove myself. I have so much potential. And I feel like with him getting his first goal, hopefully I gave him the, the little oomph that he needed, right? The little bit of that confidence boost. I know defensemen don't score as often, and I'm very aware of that, right? However, for him, I am just super excited because I know that this is a good sign and especially heading in the right direction with getting that goal. However, the Blues are now 7-8-0, so they have a losing record. Again, I understand that 8-1 loss is going to haunt you, and it haunts me a little bit, right? However, I have to be a little bit more positive about tonight. I mean, the Bruins, they are a better team. They're 7-7-2. So points-wise, they are better. In their last game, they actually had a 3-2 overtime loss against Ottawa, which is crazy, right? Because the Blues lost to the Senators not too long ago. Is Ottawa are the Senators a better hockey team than we think? Like, is this what I am basically getting at? No, Ottawa is 7-7, but I mean, that Atlantic Division right now, it is tough, especially because you have, the Panthers, the Maple Leafs, obviously the Bruins, the Lightning, Sabres, and then you have like teams that are really not that great, but are still putting up some numbers, right, with the Red Wings and Canadiens. But again, it just blows my mind. The two 8-1 losses that the Blues had were the Capitals and the Senators. That's a crazy statistic, right? An 8-1 loss twice in 1 month of play. That doesn't happen very often, does it? So, I guess, like, not that it's cool, but at least it's, it's something. Anyways, I'm going to focus more on tonight's match. So Bannister on starting Binnington tonight. Again, remember, Binnington was in net with that 8-1 loss against the Capitals. So Bannister said, I think we owe it to Jordan as a team to play better in front of him. I know our guys are going to be ready for him, and I'm sure Jordan is going to respond really well too. So that is a positive for Binner. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Binner is one of the best goalies. Do I think they should have had him in game the entire time? Absolutely not. I'd have taken him out maybe halfway through the second. At that point, you knew you were going to lose the game. I don't think anyone could justify the Blues winning that game at that point. So what was the point of having him in net? And this goes back to what I'm saying. It's a respect thing. You need to respect your goalie. You need to respect Binner, and you need to just at least show him that. But I do like what Coach Bannister then had to say about, hey, we're going to play well in front of him, we owe it to him. And I think that goes a long way, especially when you owe somebody something. So Scotty P said some things today. He said, it's exciting. I don't show my emotions too much. People were kind of giving me a hard time for not selling hard or something. I thought it was a nice setup and a good pass. Execution from everyone. Just feels good to get it out of the way. He cracks me up so much, Perunovic, selling too hard. Have you ever seen a player selling too hard? But I'm glad he's in good spirits, especially tonight. And then Bannister spoke about Perunovic and said, I thought he played very well. I saw a guy that was playing more confident moving the puck. He jumped into a hole off a faceoff and scored a nice goal. His overall game was very clean, was very predictable. When he had the puck, he played quicker. So again, very happy for Scotty P. Overall, it seems like the Blues are in good spirits heading into tonight's contest against the Bruins. For the Bruins, though, you have to watch out for Pasta. That is David Pastrnak. He earned his 8th assist of the season in Saturday's loss to the Senators. And Pasta currently leads the Bruins in points with 14. And again, he is one of those players that plays so, so, so well. So obviously, you have to look out for the good guys on the team. Other players, though, that recorded their 8th assist is Jordan Kyrou. He got his 8th assist on Saturday with Perunovic's goal, so that's a cool thing. And Colton Parayko actually leads the Blues with 20 minutes and 45 seconds of even strength overtime. Basically, he's on the ice quite a lot, okay? So Parayko, and then of course him blocking shots. So there's a lot of good for tonight's contest. I'm kind of excited. I do feel like, and I said this before, that the Bruins are the better team. However, what I can say is that I think the Blues are going to be able to at least put on a good performance. They may not get the win. And I've accepted that with the Blues, okay? I hate to say it. I've accepted it. Are the Blues going to be this flashy winning team? No, they're not. But, there's nothing more that I guess we can do as a fan base than just kind of watch what goes on. Anyways, I do have a lot to tell you, but I want to talk to you about selection quote, okay? The World Series, Super Bowl, the Olympics, the world's top athletes get to play on these top level sporting events thanks to every one thing, teamwork. And teamwork can also protect your financial legacy and your family's future. Select Quote's licensed insurance agents are the perfect teammates when shopping for customized, affordable life insurance. They can find you the right policy to keep your financial legacy safety in your family's end zone. Select Quote is one of America's leading insurance brokers with nearly 40 years of experience, helping over 2 million customers find over $700 billion in coverage since 1985. Okay. And these policies are more affordable than you think. You can get the coverage for up to $1 million for as little as $20 per month. Okay. Select Quote. They shop, you save. Get the right life insurance for you for less at selectquote.com/locked on. Just go to selectquote.com/locked on today to get started. That's selectquote.com/locked on NHL. That is locked on NHL. Oh my, if I can speak. Locked on NHL. I'm having a hard time speaking right now. I'm still getting over this cold, unfortunately. Anyways, do I think that this team can turn things around? The short answer, absolutely. They can. I know this team can. The Blues, they're capable of doing almost anything. It's still early on in the season. I know I'm disappointed. And I know you're probably disappointed too if you're watching this podcast right now. We're all Blues fans. Um, at the end of the day, with this team, they have so much potential. You have Jordan Cairo, you have Braden Shen, you have Boosh, you have Neighbors, you have Holloway, but you also have the hope that maybe Robert Thomas will come back soon. And that's something that I know I'm hoping for, and I hope you are as well. I think with a player like Robert Thomas, who a lot of people rely on and depend on, you have to have some hope because if he comes back, maybe in 3 weeks, right? There could be this big shift and turnaround within this team. I don't know if the Blues are going to beat the Bruins tonight. I don't have that answer. I don't. But I can at least offer you some positivity. I can at least say, hey, this could be a team that maybe doesn't go to the playoffs, but at least plays some entertaining hockey. Now, we need to talk about what if this team doesn't go to the playoffs. You hope they play poorly enough so you can get a good draft pick, right? I mean, I know that's like the selfish thing to say, but it's the reality. If your team doesn't play well, then you get a good draft pick. You don't want to play well, but not well enough to where you're not getting a good draft pick and you're the best worst team. Oh, wait, they did that. Um, it's easier said than done, right? It's easier to just, I don't know, assume, right, that this team can't do it. But I don't like having that mindset and that mentality of, oh, well, you know, it's not going to work. You don't know if things are not going to work. And I hate that. I hate not having at least some excitement about the season. It's a long season, and a lot of ups and downs are going to happen within this season. I know personally, I am looking forward to the Winter Classic against the Chicago Blackhawks. I hope you are as well. That's a positive. I think there's more positives than maybe we realize. And I think that's a good thing. I think sometimes if you focus on all the negatives, it's going to consume your brain, right? But that's not the reality, and that's not fair. You can't have things consume your brain that are so negative when it comes to this Blues team. Scott Perunovich, love him or hate him, he had his first NHL career goal, which is super exciting for a young guy like Perunovich who's kind of gone through a lot. I mean, he didn't play for the first handful of games. Like, he's really gone through a lot this season as it is. And he's been able to do something really cool. So I wouldn't dwell too much on that. I wouldn't dwell at all about anything if I'm being honest with you. It's not worth it. Dwelling about things it's just not worth it. Being a fan is sticking with a team through thick and thin. And I think sometimes in fandom especially, it's very easy to say, oh, this team sucks. They're never going to play well. I'm over it. And then they sucker you right back in because you love them. And I think that's what I needed, was just to have that little bit of time where I'm like, wait, that loss against the Capitals was disappointing and did upset me. However, I know that this team is so much better than they played in that game. And I know that. So that's why if they do win tonight, I'll be happy. I don't know what the result of tonight's game is going to be. I don't have that answer, as I said. But you have to find positives. Colton Parayko, I mean, he's played good this season. He's had a lot of nice slap shots, right? Like bombs, essentially, huge shots. I just don't like seeing the fan base give up on this team. Okay. But if there is any hope, I do want to play for you an audio from a little while ago about Coach Bannister and what he said about Robert Thomas. Just because I want to give you that hope that Robert Thomas might still come back and turn things around. Take a listen.
Not the news you were hoping to hear this morning.
Yeah, unfortunate news for the team and for Robbie too. And the timing of it, I thought he played a great game last night up to the point of his injury. But I think it's a great opportunity for our team really to build as a team and once we get him back, whether it's 4 to 6 weeks or but it's important for us. Obviously, we're going to need guys to step up in certain roles.
So notice I always said for the team, and the team needs to step up, and they need to have guys step up in certain roles. I've seen players step up. I saw Dylan Holloway, who took a puck to the neck, stand up essentially, and got back on the ice the next game. I mean, it is truly remarkable what this team continues to do. And I am so proud not only to be a fan of this team, but to talk about them as much as I do on this podcast, because I do believe that there is some really good things out here. By the way, Snuggie with Big Ten hockey, Jimmy Snuggie, he did get the first star of the week with the Big Ten, so that's kind of cool, right? But I love this team too much to give up on them, and I hope you feel the same way as well, because this is a special team. You know what else is special? I'm going to tell you what else is special. And that is my friends over at Prize Picks. Okay. I'm going to tell you all about Prize Picks because Prize Picks is one of my favorite apps ever. So let me go talk about them. Okay. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, okay? So you can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Okay, Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposit and withdrawals into your account this sports season. And Prize Picks gets even better because it's the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy so that your lineup stays in play even if one of your players gets injured. So yes, Prize Picks does a lot. So sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't, by the way, even need to win to receive the $5. Isn't that actually crazy? $50? Isn't that crazy? So you play $5, you don't even need to win and you still get a $50 bonus? Yeah, Prize Picks is something pretty special, okay? So Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value in your lineups. Okay, so download the app today and use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. So, heading into tonight's contest, I feel good and I still see that potential. Swayman's in net tonight. Again, we know his drama with all the money, but I still see the potential that the Blues have. I'm excited about this contest, and I know I said this in yesterday's episode, but this does give me flashbacks to the Stanley Cup Finals, that Game 7, and how can it not? I mean, the Blues made history in this building, so it's always very special. These two teams only play each other a couple times this season, so it's not that many, so I know I enjoy. They play each other again on Saturday, so I have that to look forward to as well. I'm a huge fan of the Blues and Bruins post Stanley Cup just because you see the players on both sides of the ice. Especially, and it sucks that Torrey Krug isn't playing because it is so ironic, right? That he was on the Bruins. He comes to the Blues. When he first got to St. Louis, there's this fabulous video of Torrey Krug, and he's like, do I have to look at that every day? And he was referring to the Blues's like Stanley Cup championship sign that they have at their practice facility. And I thought it was kind of funny. But I'm excited. This is going to be a good matchup. I've been looking forward to it. It's on national TV, probably because of the same reason that I am saying, just due to the fact that these two teams did play each other in the Stanley Cup. And it was one of the best Stanley Cups, if I'm being honest, in recent years. I mean, like, it was competitive. I guess I can also say that Florida and Edmonton were a good Stanley Cup, and they were. And I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that it's just one of those things where you just have some really good competitive teams. And I am really excited about watching some good hockey tonight. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. Like always, how I end every single episode. Let's go Blues, and I will talk to you tomorrow, hopefully on a Victory Wednesday. Again, appreciate everybody that watches the show. All right, let's go Blues.